Okay, so guys, Anthony Joshua has explained that Andy Ruiz Jr. caught him with a lucky punch, a punch he never recovered from. But there was more to it than that. Anthony Joshua's mind was not in the right place, he knows that. And if he is going to believe it is just one punch, which of course one punch did change the tide of the fight, but the worry is that he believes and buys into that. He needs to believe that he was beaten soundly by Andy Ruiz Jr. in order to be on top of his game in the rematch. Now what can Anthony Joshua work on? Well, he's already got the fundamental boxing skills that has taken him to 12-round decision wins over Joseph Parker and fighting the likes of Vladimir Klitschko. So he has the boxing fundamentals. He's not going to learn anything more in that department over the coming months. But what he can do is sharpen his skills, make sure his mind is in the right place. That is the deciding factor in this fight. If his mind isn't there, then he will lose again. But I believe his mind is there this time. Now he seems okay on his Snapchat stories and his Instagram stories. He's having fun, living life. But ultimately, if he could fight Andy Ruiz Jr. tomorrow for his heavyweight titles back, he would. He cannot wait to get back in there with Andy Ruiz Jr. He wants to put this right. He lives for competition, and he just wants to get back in there and put that wrong right. We have seen that Rob McCracken has joined up with Anthony Joshua, so they will be working on a few things. We've also seen that Anthony Joshua has been doing some technical sparring, because you see a picture of him slumped on a stool with a headguard hung behind him. Now, it looked like Anthony Joshua had been slimming down. I don't think he's slimming down all that much. There won't be much of a difference in the rematch. Maybe he will be slightly lighter, but I don't think it will be all that much. Let's remember, Anthony Joshua has had a lot of success before the Andy Ruiz Jr. fight. So the worry is that you change too much and almost make that a disadvantage. Because if he changes too much, then he's not fighting the way he normally fights. And if he is going to do that, then you need to do it against a lower opposition and work your way back up. Not jump into a world title fight doing something completely different that you've never done before. Something like jabbing from the hip and keeping your hands low, like he was doing in the first fight. He doesn't normally do that, but he done it in the Andy Ruiz Jr. fight, and it cost him. So he can't afford to do things away from his game plan and things he hasn't done before. He needs to stick to his game plan and stick to what he does good. But some of the things that he can work on is his head movement and lateral movement. He cannot just catch shots on the gloves. He needs to slip shots and make Andy Ruiz Jr. pay. Make sure that Andy Ruiz Jr. overcommits to his combinations and then make him pay. Sting him with those hard shots. Now, last time, Anthony Joshua, when he had his hands up and he was keeping his guard high, Andy Ruiz Jr. was finding a way behind his guard. That is what Andy Ruiz Jr. done last time. Andy Ruiz Jr. attacked Joshua a lot when Joshua had his hands up, not when he had his hands low. Now that does not mean that Anthony Joshua needs to keep his hands low, by no means, because as I said, that's not the way he fights. So he can't go in there doing something he's not done before, especially against an opposition like Andy Ruiz Jr. This has to be a very, very carefully planned game plan. He cannot start doing things he's never done before. That's what he done in the first fight, and it cost him dearly. So in this fight, he's going to have to tighten up on those things. He's going to have to learn to slip a few shots and use his feet. A double jab would keep Andy Ruiz Jr. at bay. Andy Ruiz Jr. will soon run out of ideas. He's a fighter. He's a good boxer, but he's a fighter through and through. If he cannot fight with Anthony Joshua, if he has to box him, then it's Anthony Joshua's game, really. Because although Anthony Joshua is a knockout artist, he does have good fundamental boxing skills, and he can use that to his advantage. Use his feet, a double jab, to keep Andy Ruiz Jr. at bay. Sting him with hard shots when he tries to rush in, and tie him up when he's on the inside. Even if he has to go 12 rounds with Andy Ruiz Jr., even if it is considered boring, he just has to win this fight. He needs to box Andy Ruiz Jr., not fight him. Keep him on the end of that jab, pump a double jab, use his feet, and use his boxing IQ. And refuse to be backed up by Andy Ruiz Jr. Because if Andy Ruiz Jr. can get him on the back foot, then he is fighting Andy Ruiz Jr.'s fight. He needs to keep Andy Ruiz Jr. at bay with the jab and hit him hard anytime he tries to rush in to create doubt in Andy Ruiz Jr.'s mind. Because Anthony Joshua can hurt Andy Ruiz Jr. He dropped him last time. But as Anthony Joshua explained himself, Andy Ruiz Jr. was not ready to go. But he went in for the finish too early, and that cost him. Now, recently Anthony Joshua has been speaking out about Lennox Lewis, about Tyson Fury, Andy Ruiz Jr., saying Andy Ruiz Jr. won't get up this time, calling Lennox Lewis a clown, and taking the mick out of Tyson Fury for fighting Otto Wallin. Now, this isn't normally what we see from Anthony Joshua, and the reason why we are seeing it now is he's stressed. He wants to get his belts back. He wants to win those heavyweight titles. As I said, if he could fight Andy Ruiz Jr. tomorrow, he would. He just wants to get back in the ring. Make no mistake about that. Guys, what are your thoughts on this? Anthony Joshua's approach to the fight with Andy Ruiz Jr. Drop your thoughts in the comments below, click the thumbs up, and subscribe if you are new. Thanks, guys.